thus the standing rules of the legislature will apply and govern all the engagements of the day. I thank you. Good morning, everyone, and once again, welcome to all of you, our honorable members who are with me here on the table, the department led by the HOD here on the front table. Good morning, and all the stakeholders that are here. I will take time to mention all the stakeholders that are here for the benefit of all of us and moreover for the benefit of the department so that they can know who is here and who is not. And before we start, I would want the members of the Portfolio Committee to once again introduce themselves, followed by the department led by the HOD, so that all the stakeholders knows who is present here in this meeting. I will start on my right-hand side. Honorable Mpapa.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Mpapa Kanyani, a member of the committee. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Member Jade Miller. Thank you.
Morning, Chair, and thank you for the welcome, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bronwyn Engelbrecht.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning to everyone. My name is Sergio Dos Santos.
Morning, Chair. Morning, everyone. My name is Bitumelo Makgene, and I'm the member of the committee.
Over to you, HOD. You can introduce yourself and the team can also introduce themselves.
Good morning, Honorable Chairperson. Good morning to honorable members. Good morning to our stakeholders. My name is Matilda Casella. I'm head of Department of Agriculture, Rural Development and Environment. To save time, I will introduce the members. On my left is the CFO of the department, Ntate Rulani Pelembe. On my right is the Chief Director responsible for Agriculture, Mr. Mncedisi Madolo. Next to him, there's Advocate Sipoga Zimuleshe, who's responsible for corporate services in the department. Next to her, we've got the Chief Director responsible for compliance and enforcement, Me Abimbola Olowa, we call her Bola. Next to Mebola, we've got the Chief Director responsible for rural development, and that's Me Khari Manotwane. And next to Me Khari, we've got the Acting Chief Director for Veterinary Services. He is Dr. Wynton Rabulau. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, HOD. And just as a form of introducing the stakeholders, I've got a comprehensive list of them and I'll go through it. Maybe just to make an apology for Mpie and Sons as well as Nisi. I'm told they will be a bit late, but they will be joining us. And in the list of stakeholders, I do have stakeholders from Bronco Spraits, Busiswe Projects, Makomo Agricultural, Asake, Maniki Farming, Mzwandile Farming Project, Rosemary Vegetable Oils, Sejoka Farming. From Winterfeld, we've got Sohometsi Bahoshi Agriculture. From Sosha Nguve, Umkhariso Women in Water Cooperative from Sosha, and Sosha Nguve Agri Park. From Zirbekom and West Rand, the Fresh Living Garden, Reahola Development and Projects, Zondolelo Projects, Rekaufela Agriculture, Vuguzenzela Agriculture, Makwe and Kids, Tutukani, SS Foods. From Klaspreit West, we've got Ubuntu Community Development Uplifting. From Ekenhof, Step Ahead Community Catering and Projects, we've got Operative Sawiko, Step Ahead, and then Tebe Yatumelo. From Flagfontein, Nyekes Lambe Cooperative. From Orange Farm Churches Against Poverty Cooperative. From Glenridge Rise and Shine Cooperative. From Dobsonville, Iskati Esihle Cooperative. From Johannesburg, Ward Women in Agriculture. From Ekuruleni, JGS Unati Farming and Projects. And like I said, Pierre and Sons will be joining us as well as Tia Farming Commercial. Yeah, Tia Farming Commercial, I hope you are here from 4 ways. Yeah, so you are all welcome stakeholders, and I hope that all the cooperatives and all the companies have got representatives who are going to be speaking on behalf of your companies or cooperatives. Ne? So before we get into the matters of today, I want us to first go through the agenda, adopt the agenda, and we can proceed with our meeting. I just want to go back to the agenda and take apologies for the meeting. Lebo?
Apologies, Chair, I did not hear that one. Chair, we received an apology from the MEC. She's attending to MINMAC. Yes, that's the only one we have. Oh, and Member Hassan, she will be joining the committee a little bit late. Yeah.
Have you heard anything from Member Zogana?
No, I did not receive any other apology.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, honorable members, there's the apologies. And the agenda is flighted in front of us. Can we, oh, sorry, Member McKenna?
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Mukwebo will be arriving late. He's Honorable Mukwebo. He'll be arriving late.
Okay, noted. All the apologies are noted. Whoever joins us later will find us having started with the program.
Chair?
Yes.
Yes, we just received an apology from Member Tulani Ndovi. He's also running late.
Member Ndlovu.
Member Ndovi.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Lebu. Honorable members, the agenda is here in front of you. Can I get a mover and a seconder for the adoption of the agenda? Member Kanyani?
Yeah, I move for the adoption of the agenda.
Member Miller?
I'll second, thank you.
Thank you very much, members. And on item 4, we've got minutes of the 1st of June, which I am going to request that we defer to our next meeting. And then item 5, we will have our main item on the agenda, which is the feedback from stakeholders on the support received from the department. And then we'll have resolution tracking provincial bills, NCOP bills, correspondence, petitions, and date of the next meeting. So honorable, stakeholders, as usual, we do have these gadgets for interpretation of the languages here. And for channel 1, you can press, for English, you can press channel 1. For Setswana, Lesotho, you can press channel 4. And then isiZulu, LesiXhosa, channel 3. Afrikaans, channel 2. And there will also be a sign language on the screens. I hope it is there today. So all of you can tune in. Those that need interpretation, you can just raise your hands so that the lady in yellow can come to you and give you the gadget and show you how it works. I think without any further waste of time, I want us to proceed straight to the agenda of the day. We have had several engagements with yourselves, stakeholders, as well as the department. And the portfolio committee has also raised some of the questions on your behalf for which we received written responses. I think we've had a lot of engagements, and I think in our engagements, we did say that we will have a feedback session for all of you so that these matters can be closed. So today we will be receiving that feedback from the department, and thereafter I will request representatives of all the stakeholders to be the ones who comes forward to respond or to get further clarity from the department. So not everyone is going to have an opportunity to speak, but in the meantime, all the leaders, the representatives should be ready with the questions or the necessary follow-ups, or where there was a proper response, they should say so that the committee can be aware of what is happening and if your issues have been addressed, where they can be addressed. So I hope that is clear to all of us. Ne? So without any waste of time, HOD, I don't know who's going to be leading the feedback session. I am going to request that a representative from the department comes forward and give the feedback.
Good morning, Chair and other members. Chair, on the feedback session, we have stakeholders that we have hosted before, and we explained the processes which they have to follow with the department if they needed assistance from the department. So basically, we have to get the feedback from the stakeholders, and only then the department can respond.
Okay, so it's the other way around.
It's the other way around. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, no, it's fine. So let the representatives from the department, from the stakeholders come forward then. I think maybe I should go through a call, the one from, let's start from Bronkhorstspruit, Sibusiswe project. If there is a representative there, he can come forward. A representative from Makhomu, you can come forward. A rep from Mariniki Farming, come forward. Zwandile, come forward. Rosemary Vegetables, Joka Farming. Is there anyone from Bronkhorstspruit so far? Okay, none. Okay, I'll call stakeholders from all the areas just to check if they are here. I was told that Bronkhorstspruit was a bit delayed. They were stuck in traffic earlier, so I thought they had arrived. So if they have not arrived, please let me know as soon as they are here. Ne? And then from Winterveld, is there anyone from Winterveld? Winterveld, Sekhometsi, Bahoshi Agriculture. Wait, ma'am, come forward. Or whoever is representing you. And then from Soshanguve, Umkariso Women in Water Cooperative from Soshanguve, come forward. And Soshanguve Agri Park. Do you want them to come on the podium here? Are you happy to stand there? Okay, yeah. You can use any language of your preference. Ronalidi interpretation here, we can use them to listen. Don't be afraid to use any language. Ne?
Dumelang ka moka. Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Clement from Sekhometsi Bagoshi. Sekhometsi Bagoshi Agricultural Project is found in Winterveld. We are doing layers. And then we are currently at a production of 100,000 eggs. And then we working on supplying the commercial market. So the issues that brought us here, there are three. So we've got an issue that we had an approval under the infrastructure development for building chicken houses. We got the approval in 2018 and 19, but to date, nothing has happened. We try often to communicate with the department, we write letters, they don't respond. And then we were asked to give them a detailed report on what happened. We furnished the office with the report, but to date, they don't communicate. Like, we even on our letters say to them that even bad news is still news. At least say something that we are unable to honor the promise, or we committed without the budget, or we'll still help you with this and that. But now the issue is they don't communicate. They don't talk to us. We write their letters. We go to the office. We call them. Nothing is happening. So, and I think it's disturbing in a way, because once you are given a letter that this and this will be done to you, and from there nothing is happening, it disturbs the entire project. It destabilizes the entire project. So we are affected, I think, very bad. And then the other thing is on the jobs fund again. It was approved. All of a sudden, it has been phased out. While on the approval, we had to do a lot of things, like we had to buy the cages, we had to train people, because we knew that from that approval, we're gonna upscale the employees. And we had to get ready with the generators due to these load sheddings. We had to buy silos. So at the end of the day, it's a good thing for us, but it was an unnecessary expenditure, because we tried to play our part, and the promises are not met. And then on the third issue is gonna be on, I spoke about the jobs fund and the approval of houses, which is not met, and I think those are the burning issues under Segometsi Bagoshi. So I think we're asking for intervention on that, because we were made to do a lot of things like the EIA, the drawings from the architect, which consumes a lot of money that we are not making. So we're asking that, can please the department assist us on that regard. And then we also have the issue of the municipality. After the rezoning, we were told that we are owing 4.5 million. So in case in future we want to use the underground water, something that we are not even using as yet. Just in case, if you're gonna use the underground water, you must pay the 4.5 million. So I think farming is difficult, good people. The money that you see is just on paper. So some issues and some policies that you are pursuing are not helping the society. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think your presentation was crisp. And ke tlo kgopela hore all of you who come here to make your presentations, stick to the issues that you have raised with the department before. Ne? Let's get like new issues today. Let's focus on what needs to be resolved or what has not been resolved by the department. Rosatisa the issues because they might not be able to respond now. So the next one from Soshanguve, I called Umkariso Women in Water. Itla Soshanguve Agri Park. You can come to the front if you are here. Anybody from Soshanguve, Lite? Okay, I'm talking about Soshanguve. I'll come to you, Mamelodi. Did I read you in my list? Omkariso is from Mamelodi. Okay, come, because I've got you under Soshanguve here. Come to the fore. Ke Omkariso?
Yebo.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Thank you, Program Director, and greetings to all. Tina Gumkariso, besinganayo asinawo ama complaints bengine last complain bengibuze bengicela ukuthi niyo nisichekele ni check ku Department of Economic Development. They are not on the ground. Department of Water and Sanitation, not on the ground. Asbaboni, basvakashela. No monitoring from them. And Department of Environment, yes. That was my complaint about those 3 departments. And then, ngakhuluma nokuthi ke thina as umkariso, last year sibe ne event, and this year sizoqhubeka nokwenza futhi event. Sathi sizon invite, sizoleta letter yethu. So here is my letter. So I think ama complaints being now, Bugulao, I3 for those 3 departments.
Okay, thank you, Mama Umkariso. So Shanguve Agripark.
Dumelang bagolo. Ke Tora Matebe from Soshanguve Agripark. The issue we had last year with the city of Tshwane was that of evicting me from the Agripark. And up to date, the issue is not being resolved because when I go to the offices, they tell me that they are still busy with it. So I'm not sure when is it going to be resolved because it's really stressing my business now because I don't know what is happening, whether I'm gonna stay or I'm gonna leave. And some of the officials recently has visited the Agripark somewhere last week and then informed the employees that, guys, you don't have to be cleaning this much because you are leaving. And to me, it was very much unfair because that was between me and the office to discuss that. Unlike the official that will be coming and inform the employees, to me, it was very much unfair. So the issue has not yet been resolved up to date. That's the only issue I have.
Okay. From Aikenhof, I don't know Utwakokai because there's 2. Honale step ahead, le Thebe ya Tumelo. Thebe ya Tumelo, step ahead. The 2 of you can come through.
Dumelang. Okay, nalibito ki Judith Barbara Mushi from Step Ahead, go Palm Springs, and then Rico Aikenhof Agripark. Nadin tse ki di kupileng so far ha di so etsahale ele ya biogas hore re na le pleke e re identifyileng hore re ka lokisetswa yona hore re iketsetse energy ya rona re kgone ho create mesebetsi lo fetsa tlala le taba ya ntho ya lease hore ne re kopa hore lease ya rona at least ha ba lease ebe bo 99 years lease or maybe re thole title deed ke kopo tse re di kopileng tse so kang di ananelwa and then kile ka kopana le extension officer ka bua le yena like ke tshwele hore land e belonga to city of Joburg ba jidate ba tla fela ka implementation hanne city of Joburg e ka release land hore re kgone ho sebetsa ha monate ka hore lona jwanong di 3 years tse ba re fileng tsona di tla mafellong ka July. Thank you.
Ra leboga, Mama. Okay, over to you.
Ke a le dumedisa. Dumela ntate Majola. O kae papa? Ntho ya pele ntate Majola. Ke kopa hore ke tlise diteboho ho wena. La di se di fihlile e le hore re se re patetswe ke Maria empa dipeo re di thotse. Mara jwale ho batla o le thata ho feta ntate. Ho thata ntate ha re sa tseba. Ebile re bona ekare jwale re tla tshwanela ke hore re behe meja fatshe. Re tlohele polasi ba maphelo a rona a tsietsing. Ha re no kgona ntate ho lelekisana le ditsotsi. O kotle o ye Ward 7 dihoko di fedile ntate. Matswantle a kena ka dithunya ba re tella ba tla ka dikoloi ba tla ka dithunya. Sepolesa sa EARD o se founela ka Mantaha. Bana ba no ntate ba tla ka Laboraro kapo ka Labone ebile ba tauwe ba tella ba o botsa hore na e kare o le mme wa batla polasi. Ha o re ntate ke sotleile ba re mme o tsofetse sa bo bolella ga ba phasa ga o fepehi. Ga ba phasa wa hana ntate o mphapehi. O re ke lo raloka ka kwana. O re le bona bana ba rona tjhatjha ena e ntjha e lo raloka. E raloka jwang tjhatjha e ntjha ntate? E ka itjhelete. Bana ba rona ba tsuba dinyawo pentate. Ba utswetsa papa. Ba tla ba banana ba bone go kwana ma Nigerian le ma Zimbabwe ke mo nang le bophelo ntate. Jwale re kgathetse ku hodisa makwerekwere. Bana ba makwerekwere ba alla kwana. Ba alla kwana ma Nigeriana a ba leile bana ba rona. Ha re go ba le masiu.
Mama.
Tatona ha re fe tjhelete.
Ee.
And then hape ke Maria ntate. Di boholu tsele di a basta ntate. Di a basta. Re sebedisa boholu A1. E le nngwe fela. Boholu nyo go tshwantse re nosetse. Ha re kgone ho nosetsa. Ha go ka mona ha ona motlakase. Moroho ole go ke ntho sa itsebeng ntate. Ha o go wa tsamaya o lo rekisa batho ba re ha re reke ntho e tjena. Re jalletse mahala. Ha re na di-equipment tsa ho sebetsa, ha re na trekere, makgowa a polasi tse haufi a re lwantshang ntate o ba jwale.
Mama.
O tshwantse gore re time mello. Ke lebohile.
O kena mo hanone ke re fela ke boletse hore o ska raisa dilo tse ntšha ne o raise dilo tse o kileng wa di raisa le di
Ntle le tsona tsele mme ntate Majolo wa ntseba e ntse le tsona tsele jwale di fetelletse ho feta le monseng.
Okay. Ho thata banna. Sorry mama. Se ku biditse? Okay, ke kopa o dule mo fatshe ke bitse ka list ne o tla tla ga nako o e fihlile mama ne ka tlhompho. We are moving on to farmers from Zirbekom. Mo West Rand bona ba re hostile. Re mo halona mona. A ke thome ka Fresh Living Garden. Ala tele ke re agola development and project le Zondolelo projects ke kopa batle ba le 3 if ba le teng. Fresh Living re agola Zondolelo. Ntate o tswa ko kae? Fresh Living. Ya, go tlo qala wena. O latelwe ke re agola. Mama o tswa ko kae? Ke ra which cooperative or which organization? Reagola. O representative ya Reagola. Okay, yeah. Go tla latela wena after Fresh Living. Go tle Zondolelo. Okay, o ka qala ntate.
Thank you, Chairperson. Sanibonani bahlali. Tina i-challenge yethu kwi-Freshly Living Garden indaba yomhlaba. I-cooperative is operating and then asikakatholi uncedo from kwi-government. Yes, umhlaba esiwusebenzisayo asiwulisi umhlaba wemine. But however, we are continuing doing our programs every day plowing. So tina asikakatholi uncedo ku government, but besicela ukuthi engathi singathola uncedo olukhulu ngomhlaba. Once sathola umhlaba, well, funding and everything asinandaba nayo. Because once we have a land, we can make a plan yokuthi sizenzele ama seedlings, then a cooperative yethu iqhubeke iye phambili. Thank you very much, Chair.
Sibonge. Yes, Mama, you can come through.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Ke le dumedise kaofela, protocol observe. Le balemi ba rona ba bantle, ba Modimo a re ratang. We are the pillars, balemi. Ke rona re behang dijo mo tafoleng. My name is Maureen Chisale from Zirbokon. The last time I complained, ka hore, you know, it's so funny. And I even say that I was belittled by the government. They know me. I'm the first Gauteng female farmer. You know what happened? When they came and gave us some seedlings, my extension officer knows me. Whatever I'm doing, I will talk to my extension officer. Even if I am going to sell whatever, I will show her the picture what I've sold. You know, the last time when my extension officer came and said, Maureen, we brought you some seedlings. After 2 days, she says, Maureen, we did a mistake. We were not supposed to give you those seedlings. They gave me 4 bags of 5 kilograms of spinach. And then when he says, Maureen, we did a mistake. Your packet is this one. I say, you know what, you guys, you are really insulting me. Under my caliber, you give me, I don't even know how to measure that envelope. So really, guys, for me, it looks like this other hand doesn't know what is the other hand doing. Why I'm talking like this? You said we must create employment, and which we do. But for you, official, to come and support us, you don't. Yeah, I don't know where are you leading us to. Then you will say, you know, in agriculture, God has gave us expect. You know, agriculture, it's a thing which you just take it and look at it and say, if I can formalize it like this, it will happen. But the support, we don't get it from you. But lastly, I want to say I am happy because I'm working with farmers. The other directorate from the sphere of government, they bought us some tractors, they are there. They brought us some vans, they are there. We are happy. But working individual, somebody wants to create employment individual and help the other people, you are not there to assist us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama. Zondolelo, uteng representative ya Zondolelo. Okay, Rekaufela agricultural projects, uteng. Auliteng, please come to the front. Rekaufela. Okay. Vuguzenzele. Let's get someone from Vuguzenzele. Makwe and Kids Consortium. Okay. Tutukani. SSD Foods. Ali. Okay. Rafita. Mo West Rand, Jagger. Let's move to Klipspruit West, Ubuntu Community Development, Uplifting. You can come, Dade, over to you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ian Vachelen. I'm the chairperson of Ubuntu Community Development and Upliftment. We are a young and newly founded organization. Just what a previous speaker was talking about, that's the objective we are looking into: employ and train as much youth and women as we can. But firstly, as a company that started in November 2023, with the assistance of GDAT and the Department of Agriculture, we already hosted 2 market days. With the seeds they gave us in January, December, last month we had our 2nd market. So firstly, I want to say thank you for the support, the assistance. As I can hear, there's other co-ops that are crying, that are in pain. But due to the fact that we keep the government accountable for what we are doing on the ground, firstly, Ubuntu has a 4.2 piece of hectare of land, which is, I call it a jungle. I think Mr. Madolo can attach to that. It's a jungle, it's a danger zone, and it's in a schoolyard. It's part and parcel of the schoolyard. We are still awaiting tractors for cleaning the place. We already started by doing it manually with our hands, manual labor, by the assistance of tools which we also got from GDAT through Mr. Madolo and Mr. Justice. The assistance and the support we've got changed the value and the ideas of our community. As you can hear on the list also, we're the only community from, I think a lot of people know El Dorado Park, but we're not from El Dorado Park, we are the neighborhood of El Dorado Park. So my thanks and appreciation go out to the Department of Arts and Culture together with GDAT, with the small support they already gave us. I do believe that they can still put in more. If I can just bring up, we need tractors to clean the field. We in dire need of water irrigation system, because currently we are still using the school's water. And when they're going to start billing us, Madam Chair, can I bring the bill to the department? Because we are using a lot of water of the school. So therefore, we in need of a bowl to be sustainable for our own irrigation. And then we also need a lot of training. As I say, training in the sense that the people I'm working with, we do not know nothing about agriculture. But the little experience and training we've got, thanks to Mapule, one of our of our facilitators, she did a great job. As I can say, for a period of 7 months, we hosted 2 food stalls, which we call markets, where we sold.
Sorry, Papa. I made a plea. We must not raise new issues. Ne? Let's deal with issues tse leng hore setse re di deposit ile le department ena ba di etsa le tse ba di editseng.
Okay.
It's fine, you can congratulate them where they did well.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's
Thank
not
you,
bring
ma'am.
new issues.
Okay, to the crux of the point. Firstly, we're in dire need of tools, a bowl, tractors to plow the land, because currently we are only using a small piece on the land. So, with the assistance of the department, if they can come in with training and what we required now is the bowl, which is our main focus, and the closure of our place, because it's an open piece of land, whereby we need to close it, people are moving through it. So, just in my last and closing words, I do believe that together with the Department of Agriculture and GDAT, we can make a difference. Thank you.
Fellow stakeholders, Rutwane hore this is a feedback session. Okay, I see a complaint session or any other thing. Give feedback session. Okay, you're going to give feedback on what you are happy about or what you are not happy about. So let's not change the focus of the meeting so that we can achieve our objective. Ne? So the department have to respond. But responded to specific issues tse leng hore lekile la ba kopa and they did not fulfill on the promise. Okay. Re ska kenya di issues tse mpya. If finally new issues, you know the channels of how to submit those requests. But today, let's stick on the feedback so that we accomplish the purpose of this meeting. Re kgone ho bona le rena as portfolio committee hore ho na le progress on the side of the department, le hore how happy or how disgruntled you still are. Okay. So ha le thoma le kenya di new issues le tlo re confuse, we won't know now what to look at and what not to monitor. Ke a ikopela, ne? Please, let's be cooperative. Let's proceed now to, okay, Refitile Eikenhof, Vlakfontein, Liteng, Nyeges Lambe Cooperative. Are you here? Yes, come through. And from Orange Farm, Churches Against Poverty Cooperative. Are you here? Come through. Batamela Papa we haufinyana. Yeah, those two. And then we'll proceed with the list.
Dumelang. Nna ke lebitso la ka ke mme ke di bone from Ngeke Slambe. Me rona ntse re la ka ba extension officer sa agriculture ba la ka ba fitla mo le farming ya rona. Ne re kopa thuso sa le ntse re ballela ka fencing. Hobane batho ba le hae ba re utswetsa ba re senyetsa. Fencing le borehole. Ke tsona ntse re lang haholo ka tsona tseo. Me ntse re leboha extension officer last year ba la ba re tsetsa ditapole tsa rona di tla hantle re ya leboha.
Churches Against Poverty Cooperative.
Honorable Madam Kekana, MEC, legislature, MECs, HODs, all legislature and GDAT, their committees and all ordinary people who clean us, who do us things in order to be here. Oh, thank you, ma'am. Assist Joy Langa, igama lami uMusa Kantanzi. I'm from Orange Farm, from Churches Against Poverty. Much about churches, HOD waibega ilokuza problem ye churches esnayo in Orange Farm. It looks like we are going no far. Idinga training. Akukho so far esingakudeliver ngaphandle ukuthi ama program amile because akuna planning up to now akukho ngempela esingakusho except ukuthi ke sinenqola elokhuza ehambayo engayibeka last time iMusantanzi Foundation esiregisterile khona manje esithi inama programs aqhubekayo sithi Jitati siyacela ukuthi please in support because Orange Farm it needs it needs ilento strong organization strong ezokwazi ukufaka Orange Farm yonke from Ward 1 to Ward 10. Thank you.
Okay. Arisweleng pele from Okay, let's proceed from Glenridge Rise and Shine Cooperative, Liteng. Rise and Shine, come through. And then from Dobsonville, Iskati Esihle. Are you here? Iskati Esihle Cooperative from Dobsonville. Okay, I don't see anyone. From Johannesburg, Ward Women in Agriculture and Rural Development. Are you here? Okay, proceed in that day from Glenridge.
Sanbonan, Viwe Monono from Zerbecom to be exact, but because of the executive, the cooperative is actually from Glenridge. So I'm here under the Rise and Shine cooperative, and I'm actually the chairperson there. And I'm here also for Youth in Agriculture and Rural Development, West Rand. I just wanted to thank the department.
Sorry, Urutok Mo West Rand.
Correct, ma'am.
Zerbecom.
Correct, ma'am.
Mara ke re re biditse West Rand. Where were you when we called?
I'm under Rise and Shine. I stood up under the Rise and Shine.
So are you under
cooperative.
Glenridge?
Yes, ma'am. I'm under the cooperative of Rise and Shine. I'm representing.
Rise and Shine.
Yes,
You are
ma'am.
the representative.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ke kopa o bue hantle on o tlose letsoho mo mic-eng so that we can hear you, ne?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, all of us wants to hear.
All right.
O bue o project nyana and o ska kwala mic re utlwe.
Okay, let me repeat myself. My name is Vio Monono. I'm from the Rise and Shine cooperative. It is with the Glenridge executive. So I'm from the Zerbecom community, and I'm also representing Youth in Agriculture and Rural Development, the Western region. And I just wanted to thank the department, because the last time I was here, I was saying that EARD couldn't aid young people. And so far there's been progress as to getting the department, or rather getting the organization back into order. And then I also want to thank the agriculture department as a whole for assisting the secondary cooperative, which is part of the Zerbecom community. And we have been having problems with tractors there. And actually when they assist them, they assist us as cooperatives in the area
Can you
as
be
well.
specific? How did they assist you? Just
They
dive
assisted
into the details.
the cooperative, the secondary cooperative is a cooperative that is governing cooperatives in the area. So, or rather in the West Rand as a whole. It's a Rand West cooperative, correct? So they were applying for trucks, vans to transport the produce. And recently they received new tractors, which when I came on record the last time, I did have a complaint to Mama HOD that we don't have things, rather facilities like tractors in the area. So with that aid to them, the department, the agriculture department, not necessarily the GDAT, but the agriculture department as a whole, has assisted them. So as they assisted, we are also being assisted by so doing. So I wanted to thank them for that. And then there's also progress with the visibility of the agricultural representatives in our area, or agricultural advisories in our area. They've been coming in and out of my farm specifically, and I must say it's been great help. Although there's certain things that they still need to happen, it's a journey, but for now I see progress, because recently I got my fertilizer, I got my seeds as well. So for the next season I might be secured. I just need to push for the irrigation and the rest. Thank you for that. And then, yeah, one other thing, as the cooperative, when I came into the cooperative, Rise and Shine, they received machinery from the government, or rather from the GDAT department, and it's incubators actually. But there's issues due to load shedding, is to getting them started up. And it's been a while, because they've been standing there for quite some time now. So instead of those resources being wasted, can you please look into reviving that? Because I believe with one cooperative succeeding, the rest can actually have a chance and go into the department and ask for more, or even come to the cooperative for assistance. So if we can look into that and just help us with that. And the last thing that I asked from the department, just a request, is that you look into the issue of water in the area, Zerbekom area. The issue there has been a problem for quite some time, but the solution has came up. As young people, we suggest that you have central boreholes in the area. You know, if we have one borehole that has a pipe and supplying certain plots, we can have assistance on that. So there is solutions. We just need to have a sitting with the department and see how we can do that. Anyway, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay, next one. Just
Good
introduce yourself.
morning. My name is Sina Kokota, the Women in Agriculture and Rural Development Provincial Secretary. Thank you, Program Director. What we as WARD, we requested was that the women, because we advocate for women in agriculture, backyard gardens, open fields and all that. So we have a problem with the land. We requested that we get a platform or an engagement where we can speak about how women can get a land to farm, to move from backyard gardens and open field to emerging then commercial, because we're lacking on that. So we are grateful that we managed to speak to HOD, whereby we came to an agreement to say that we will draft a memorandum of agreement that will be opening doors to other departments so that we can assist women in farming. And the processes of getting the seedlings as well, because there are a lot of red tapes that are blocking women, especially that are doing the open fields. There are a lot of things that they need from them. So we wanted us to have that memorandum of agreement with the department so that when we go and request seedlings or any mechanization that they need, we can be their mouth speakers and so forth. So we really grateful, HOD, and we promise that all the things that you requested will be on your table by the end of the month. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And let's proceed then to, but before we proceed, let me check. Bronco Spruit, have you arrived? Are you here? Okay. Okay, let's go to Ekuruleni, JGS Unati Farming and Projects, Mpie and Sons, Mpie and Sons, what the Mpie? I'm told Mpie Senior is not well, so I'm expecting Mpie Junior to be here, but I don't think he's here as yet. Okay. Oh, Limangosi, I see you are here. Okay. We can proceed.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Simpiwe Mnisi from JGS Unati Farming and Projects. I'm sure you can see with my face on how I feel. 2022, the department, you came through to our farm to check what has been happening. That was in December the 19th, if I'm not mistaken. And we had grievances, and our grievances were that in 2014, we were approved by the department for our solar fence, clearview fencing, and borehole. Until today, those were not done. So we were not happy. That's when we started the relationship with the Department of Legislature. And then the agreement with the different department was that they'll fast track our process because it's been ongoing. And the agreement was that in January when they open, they're gonna make sure that the department tries to assist us in a different form, because honestly, it has been taking forever. I'm a young farmer who has a farm, and that is the problem that the department has. It's land. I have that. And the department has a problem with getting young people involved in farming. I'm interested in that. So we got excited. We thought, okay, that is going to happen because now they're going to fast track the process. Unfortunately, the only thing till today that has been done was the borehole. Nakon, it's incomplete. They just delivered two, if I'm not mistaken, 2 5-liter Jojo tanks that they delivered a month ago. And then the borehole service provider had issues with the department where he had said he's no longer going to continue with the job, but then he came back and said he will continue with the project because of non-payment. But till today, he has not come back. He kept saying he's going to come back, he's busy with other projects, which we're okay with that, with the borehole. The fencing, the service, is it the service provider? No, not the service provider. The extension officer came through and then he said that he needed specs from us, which we did give. We had given the specs before, which was in December, when we submitted the quotation. We had to resubmit the quotation because they had said it was an old quotation. The service provider, this extension officer, then called again and said, can you please submit the specs? And I told him I had emailed the specs. So, ma'am, since then, we have not heard anything. I had communicated with Mr. Mpho Mtlapo. That was in March. I sent an email to him, and then he responded saying that they are busy with the process, but till today, I've not received anything from him. And I've not heard anything from the department, and yeah, I guess I'm just tired.
Okay. Ma'am Nisi, thank you. For the last time, let me check if Ntate Mpie is here. Okay. Lebo?
Chair, they just sent through an apology that they cannot make it. Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's then go back to Bronkhorstspruit. We received your apology for you are being delayed. Bronkhorstspruit, farmers from Bronkhorstspruit. Sibusiswe projects, are you here? Yes, come through, Mama. Le Kenki Makhomu Agricultural Asake. Makhomu, are you here? Okay, you'll follow, ne? Yeah, let's start with you and followed by Makhomu.
Sanbonani, is rather ngikhulume ngesizulu so that I can express myself. Ngiyabingelela kuwo wonke ama-farmers akhona, ama-department akhona. Kokuqala ngizobonga. Mina esayidini yami iminyaka yonke since ngakhala ku-legislature, I have applied the farm. It's been 11 years. Ngithole 2020, the farm, I will show you. I think ibengirasa kakhulu. Then bangiphonsela bebangivala umlomo. Ukuthi ungaphindi ukhuluma usidinile. Because even last month bekunama farm aphumile. They get farms enendlu, they get farms in electricity infrastructure. Mine you can cry. As ngimela, I'm sad. But EARD, I won't complain. Because I'm an extension officer, they are doing their work. They do the best. In my side, they give me in production inputs. I'm emotional because I'm sad. You can't stand here and smile when you are troubled. You can't stand here and say, I'm happy when you are not happy. They say I must start. Yes, I can start. With what? EARD doesn't have money to give me. I can build my house. First thing, I don't have a house. I did buy amazenke for that place. I did buy amakapa for that place. I'm trying my best to farm the way in farming ngakhona. I even encourage abantu abasha. I've got group yabantu abasha, was training them. Go agriculture. Ngibatshelani. I say begezelani. There is something in farming. But what? They were asking me, Mama, Mambus, if you are saying agriculture, it's a business, it's good, we can hold on. What about you? Because we see you are struggling, you are suffering, but always you give a smile. I give them smile, I encourage them, I train them, they qualified, I've got them. Jitad saw them last week in Farmers' Day. I don't give up. I think ngelinye ilanga uNkulunkulu will hear my cry. But now, what I'm saying, I say, thank you, Jitad, everything you are doing for me. Ngiyazi ukuthi it's not so much, but you are trying your best. The extension officer, if they say you can go back, ulanda umuntu, I can go back in. Angazi ngithi ngiyemathuneni ngiyolanda uLhlohonono. Because he understands farmers. He was my extension officer. First it was money and transfer. She was the best one in it. The second, Begu Ruth, she was the best. Sometimes amanyama extension officer, they came emsebenzini, I think, I don't know, they don't have passion. But mina ngaba nenhlanhla, ngathola wonke nepassion, awuthanda umsebenzi wabo. I won't say bad things to them, because now Mr. Kwena and Humbulani and Shonisani, they don't know me, but they are crying. They say, Mambusi, you want to farm? But how can you farm in this place? So ngilana ngizothi ngiyabonga. You push and push legislature until I got the farm. But I can't say it's the farm. It's vandalized. When you stand there, you cry. It's painful. Can you please assist me? Ukuthi bang remove bangise kwelinye, because abantu bayawathola ama-farm, or I'm not deserving it, I don't know. My heart, inhliziyo yami ibuhlungu, but I've got kids that I'm training. Ngize ne-one spokesperson salabo bantu abasha. After kuphelile, can you please encourage those kids? Because they see agriculture as something that is not right. But thina sinabo abantwana abasebenzayo ababona agriculture ukuthi it's something. So nalama extension officer
Sorry,
ngasebenzi.
Mambusi, I think when
My
we
time.
it's no. Okay. When we opened the meeting,
I know.
I made a plea, hore, because this is a feedback session.
Okay.
You must say the things that the department did do, and that they did, those that they did not do as per your agreement. Don't go into other things and bringing up new things and stuff. We
Okay.
are focusing on the feedback from your side of what you are happy with and what you are not happy with. Ne?
Okay,
Let's
thank you, ma'am.
confine ourselves.
Thank you, Mama. Ngiyabonga, but ubhlungu ngeke ukhona ukubususa. So ngiyabonga ukuthi ngibuyisele endleleni ngoba ngifike late. Ngicela ukushiya this kini so that you can see. That's why I'm saying ngiyabonga ku Jitard. But ku rural development, there's nothing I can say ngiyayibonga because ningilahlile.
Okay, siyabonga ma. Makhomo? So when are you representing? Osmari, over to you.
Good day or good morning, everybody, especially my colleagues, farmers, ninjani. Mina ngazi ngiqale kuphi, because this thing kade ngihambe batsho i-legislature feedback session and then complaining session. Complain ngento eyi-one. Kumare igama lam Mashego Wendeka Mahlangu. I'm a grain farmer. Gijala 400 hectares in 891 hectares of a farm. But okubhlungu ukuthi anginamanzi eplasini. Giluza 42,000 a month. Yokukhayara i-generator. Ngithenge ne-petrol. Ngoba ngingafuni ukuba iphopho farm ezosola ibhebhulwa yini department. Kodwa engifuna ukukusho namhlanje engikucela ko chairperson nabantu osebenza nabo izophela na le ndaba yaka ye 9 years 2015 anginamhlakasi mina la ngihlala khona angina next but ngiyazama ukusurvive. You did come to my farm, you see ukuthi ngiyazama noma dolo uyazi ukuthi ngiyazama kodwa kubhlungu ukuthi ni busy nisipha ama incompetent service providers you government ba busy ne bapha imali ye government ibe wasteful kibo bathi bazosifakela ama borehole iborehole yami namhlanje ayikafakwa and sister ke ngento one last week they were supposed to come ama service provider niwachasha ngazi ukuthi niwachasha kanjani why should you hire such people aba incompetent kangaka and then nibapha imali and bantshela manga bathi basiza sima farmer bastakisa mina ngiyastaka chairperson ngiyastaka on a serious note khona manje last week we were supposed to come those guys be Tahoga kweza i-EARD iyodwa i-engineer khona sabalinda until ngo4 they never showed up so labayeza namathanga abahlomela phaphezulu amathanga wakhona they never even paid abantu abasebenze lapho kusebenza imali yami kubhadala to protect izinto ze government because zingabi vandalized because angeke uthi umuntu asebenze bese umbhadali and lento iseplazini yami. So to avoid the crime ingene eplazini lam, I have to pop my pocket ngibhadale ngisave situation. But nanamhlanje angakabhadala lo 3.6 whereby now they are saying in their email to the engineer ukuthi bangibhadalile mina. And so long abagcina last year. And kukumanje ngidosa nzima kabuhlungu ngoba uyayibona ukuthi petrol idura kangakanani. Ngichasha ne generator. I generator per day is 260 rand. Ngithenga petrol 400 rand. Daily basis ki 600 rand leyo. Kodwa engifuna ukukusho ukuthi uchief director khona ngicela ungilalele baba uMadolo. Uchief director khona uyazi ukuthi ngiyasebenza. Nama extension officer sikhipha ama frustrations wethu kibo bantwana babantu. And they have no decision to make to my problems esinawo in doing farming. And if food security is gonna die, our country is going down. If we farmers are not fully supported against into asithi nisibhebhuli nisenza bonana. No. What we are saying, support us where we need to grow up. Because I've already diversified in my farm, I'm doing vegetables. Because angeke ngilinde 6 months yonke yombila nema soya bean nama sugar bean. But ngithi mina ama service provider wenu akenicabanga ngenye indlela because you did have IDMS beyisebenza those years kwabanye and okunye okubhlungene ukwenzayo labantu abanegezi yibo nigijimela kibo nobafakela amasola nobafakela namanzi thina singena next anisho next ngathi kungani kwenziwa njalo because if then ngithi anginamanzi uyabona ukuthi akanamanzi lo muntu uyolanda umuntu one electricity lapha khona manje sine energy crisis thina siyazi nikhuluma ngani sisemaplazini lawa serious chairperson and asithi chairperson uthatha ingubo usibhebhula usenza bonana no mina I'm not saying that I'm saying pull up your socks nitshele labantu be government laba ukuthi ama especially high government angazi ngithini ngithi nenza njani le criteria you apply to choose your service providers is killing us as farmers. Yasibulala ayisebenzi anywhere. And please I'm begging mina ngifuna ukuthi mangiphuma lana namhlanje ningitshele ukuthi ibhoholu leya noyifaka nini because my problem was one with the service provider. I want the specification Because yield test, thank you, GDART, Mr. Madoli, you did the yield test I wanted. I know the test there in the borehole. But my problem with the service provider was, I wanted the specification of the pump. Because angifuni omklarte cream in a plazin lam. I'm investing there. It's a legacy what I'm doing there. Angifuni gizo abuse ama resource estate. Ningifakele borehole ine yenya buya ngichayisa sebenzi. No, I don't want that one. So sicabana ngaloko chairperson. Angaseze plazin lam. Ne DPSA yenu le nikhethile. Please go and revisit them. Nibabuzo ukuthi bayenzani. Le mali nithatha nibaphayo nibapha ukuthi bayenzeni. Bayipake igcwale bese yakuphi. Bese siyorasela iGDART sibafuna ABCD but yini futhi government legislative ukuthi labantu abasebenze baphiwe imali nasusu IDMS. How many policies will change and make us work as farmers? Stop changing your policies. If you change your policies, they make them work then. If they don't work, then cancel everything. I hear one-on-one again. If you get chief director, say apply, can approve it, then they do the thing. But your systems are not working. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ma'am Maria. Let's move on to Maswandle Farming Projects from Bronkhorstspruit. Are you here? Maswandle, Rosemary Vegetable Oils. Are you here? Sijoka Farming. Sijoka Farming from Bronkhorstspruit. Are you here? Go ahead, Emma. Okay. I think we've covered all the stakeholders, all the invited stakeholders. I don't know if I've left anyone behind. And from which, from Bronco, Kima? Apani. Okay, Ate Apani from Bronkhorstspruit. Sorry, Kima? From Ekurhuleni. Labo, you'll guide me because I don't have her here. From Ekurhuleni, I only had JGS, Limpie and Son.
Yes,
So
Chair.
can we take her?
Yes, we can, if feedback is.
Okay,
Apologies
feedback.
on that, Chair.
Give feedback.
Yeah.
Okay, and I see another hand there. Give feedback. Feedback. Itlang ka mo pele and then come. You'll just say hore le tswa ko kae.
Dumelang bagolo, all protocol observed. Thanks for the opportunity. Ke Bubi Apane, I'm from the same region as Boma Maria. Unfortunately, I missed the session last year because of ill health, but I'm here today, so thanks very much for, thank you. Ke a leboga gore be ke tlile gape. Ke tsene mo polaseng ka 2009.
Yeah, before you go into what you want to say, I don't know what you're going to say, I don't even want to preempt, but I know little lata ne, and then re tlhalositse hore ke feedback session, and there are issues that you have raised with the department. Hona le tse ding ba di editse, hona le tse ding ha ba kgona ho di etsa ba di fihlelle. So ke kopa o focus on that. Motso. Yes. Oscar raise ntho tse ntjha ne.
No, I'm not raising your things.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you. And it applies to all of you, ne? Baleleng ready to speak. Thanks.
Oh, okay. We returned mo polaseng ka 2009, and we made several applications to be funded. Unfortunately, we haven't been. The last application that we made to the department was for blueberries. That was rural development. And it was recommended with conditions. We met the conditions, but nothing came out. The condition was that they don't know of blueberry farming in Gauteng. I need to take them to that place. I took them to a farm in Bronkhorstspruit. They saw that there is blueberry production. The other one was that they were not sure with the financial projections standing edits. Beba isa ko land bank. The account manager wa land bank after this year,
there is nothing wrong with these projections because never ke di okeditse, ke batla gore ba mphe tšhelete, ke sa bue nnete, which was not true. So currently, we are not doing anything on the farm because we're not being assisted. How are you saying, Barry, what are you doing? And assistance keeps going to people who have been assisted because even people barbering, we are doing something. They got help from government. We moved into dilapidated structures. We used our money to make them habitable. We are security people, and we are not being recognized for the job that we are doing. Go tlile batho ba bora metsi, borehole e na le 7 years plus, ha ise equipiwe, I don't know why. Nako engwe e rile ke bua le extension officer a ba nthare a o Maaphane, ke be ke re ara wa nnafu, ka re So that is how I am known go departmenting. Yaka Maaphane wa nnafu, simply because I don't know, hati ki bua Sekgowa, ge mang ke ste sekolong a ke sebe. Ha se sebe. If I say to the officials, chairperson, I've been in this field since 2000 plus minus 1999. The policies ke thusitse go di kwala, 30 so wide. I was active. I was helping allocate rural development to allocate farms. I was helping rural development ka recap. But we are not going to help you because I heard from my neighbor, you forced us to do right things. I'm being honest. So I honesty, I had a son. Farming, TUT, agriculture. He didn't get employment. We look mining. Yet we look at TUT, agriculture, you see people how feel about to see you. How phone or it to say my contribution went unrecognized. I contributed. Now I'm being punished for my contributions. I bought a tractor, I bought plows, I did. They were stolen. Can't tell her gates. In a sewer system, in a roof. The roof is still leaking. I'll show you pictures. But there's nothing that is coming forth from the department. We've been writing, last year, rural development, because I phoned the presidential hotline. The presidential hotline research. They gave me a report, their research. It's not signed. It's a chief director of rural development, director as deputy director nationally, chief director nationally, DDG nationally. It has been approved, but it does not have one signature. How possible is that? Because we've got 43 farms that have already been recommended, so you are not one of them. So we are not going to help you. You read more times life 56 million why am I on the farm? Maria wile ka the service providers. They know nothing about agriculture. You give them facts as if you know a lot. And we put agriculture. Why is it that lesser read? So but thanks for the opportunity, ma'am.
Okay. Before later, let me check. Tia farming. Isn't tia farming better? But 4 ways, back of 4 ways, tia farming. No. But we'll check out Bafitli now because they were on the list. I think I should give them the opportunity to speak first because Baba, they were not on the list. They raised their hands. ke kopa a representative from Tia Farming to come through, if she is here. I saw somebody who wa emela at the back.
Chair.
So they're not here? Okay. Let's proceed. Ke ka mama. O tla introduce o bolele o representative here, which cooperative or company mama ne?
Ke maganyane. Okay. Dumelang. Ke nna Charlotte Moningi from Eguruleni. Ke mo go ward, chairperson ya ward ko Eguruleni. I think you will remember me. Because when I was talking about the document, I was asking you people, why should you send us the document late? Because of why we're supposed to be perusing the document, the second one, you spoke about the training of the recycling. I said, why Ronald are invited? Because I'm doing recycling, I'm doing agriculture at the same time. And renale problem ya land gape because of le more famelang teng le more re etsang tsone di agriculture. So it's just an open field. More sebeletsang teng. Go na le bonkgono ba ke le gore ke ne ke sebetsa le bona. I said all those things. So the last talk in Irnalion. It's only this week, last week, where our municipality, all along, I can't tell how many years, I've been going there to our office just to apply for a permit. But we also call this a permit because knowing quite well, harnally permit at least libon konban. Ukhona gore ba ne le matsapa a gore iketsetse di letter re nke permit tseo re tsamaye re batle gore re kgone gore re sebetse. Those things couldn't happen. And rabatlana li land because now I'm looking for the land. I think kibile ko wati 2006 when you launched I was part of it. And I said it, the people, what a disgrace. Because Honanu Honali taught Lebana Badinyaope, how about to blame Nyaup, how about to rehab, Mana they are idling. In so much we want Hore.
Sorry, mama. Pelu tswela pele ke kopa o itse 2 weeks ago ba masipala batlile ko wena. Re bolelle hore batlile ka feedback e.
No, habatla ko gonna. I went to them because no go apply a happy for me pleke e re sebedisang ya qualificationing eling open field because hona no ba utsitse dinawa tsa rona and everything. The other time e bankile le di veg tsa rona ba kenya di kgomo mo gare ha tsona. E le gore apply la gore ha re tseba gore ha re thotse at least permit ra khona o tsa maruko but not gore re tabe dependa go agriculture with everything. No. We are big enough, grown enough. Ba dependent ko kholon, that is my only problem which I've got. And Eguruleni in a lady plot in everything. I'm just happy on Monday because of the old child Ernaliona. Because of what she's going to do now, I think that will be 100% much better. Because we have to visit those people who are sitting onto the things. Let the things come out. Because let's produce our own food. Please, we want to avoid going to the clinics. Please give us those things. Thank you.
Chairperson and your team in the portfolio committee, thank you for this opportunity. Nagmaiva. I am chairperson of the Midval Farmers Co-op. Allow me to start with one, a comment. Secondly, a complaint. Thirdly, the feedback that you require. The comment is on the DDR police. I think one farmer made a statement here. Those of us who are under the jurisdiction of the DDR police know that we don't have a police station at all. I even tried to communicate with the portfolio committee in Cape Town about that. I have had 4 armed robberies, the last of which my daughter's second iPhone was taken, but we managed to track it down. And when we asked the investigating officer to give even the person in whose hands the phone ended up, a white woman who just got married and posted using my daughter's iPhone. With that evidence, the DDR police would not be helpful. That's the DDR police. We don't have a police station there. 2 is my complaint. The last time my cooperative got invitations to forums like this was when Nandi Mayatola was MEC and followed by Lewang Maile. The rest of these meetings that we attend, we just use, maybe because I'm a military veteran, we use guerrilla tactics to get information about this thing. We don't get invited here, Chairperson, even to the forums like the one where we had the MEC in Pretoria. So tell us that we must continue to do underground work and continue to be guerrillas to establish these type of forums. But then our feedback is, as Mid-Val Farmers Co-op, we were recipients of the first generation of tractors and implements. However, while others got replacement implements, we have not. Our tractor, I think we have had for 12 years or over, does not service Mid-Val farmers only. It services Mid-Val farmers and Watterdal farmers. And from one end of Mid-Val to the other end of Watterdal is 25 kilometers. A tractor is meant to operate on one farm. But our tractor travels this distance carrying one implement at a time. They plow to go and plow the one end and go to the other end, drop it, pull a disc harrow to go and disc, come and drop it, pull at the planter from one end to the other. Wear and tear becomes heavier on that. For 3 years, we have requested assistance with replacement. The other implements were of substandard steel. They came from BIP implements in Free State. As of now, we are supposed to pay 33,350 to refurbish the disc harrow. So we are trying to make means, but we have requested that can we be assisted, once you assist us with that, replacement of tractor and implements, plus an 8-ton truck with which to carry grain to the silos, and a reaper, we will be out of the department's hair. We have not got at that. The second one is production inputs. We plowed 70 hectares last year and waited for inputs, fertilizer and sugar bean seeds, until it was past planting time. We even sent the MEC a picture that here the fields that we have prepared, while we were getting promised that, oh, no, you will get the inputs. Eventually, I told one of the officials, Mr. Tape, that in 2023, can we have our production inputs as late as July, so that when we go back to prepare the fields, we know that in our barns or in our storeroom, we have fertilizer and seed. Instead of going to prepare again and wait for Leila to come, and she will not come. We have over 100 hectares combined as farmers in this co-op, for which we are asking for assistance with the tractor and implement replacement that we have to service. But we have 70 hectares of that for grain. So, Chairperson, siyanipayisa nina lapho HOD. HOD ne team yakho. Land is not there, it's very scarce. But we have gone out to say, can we get other portions that we can lease so that we become commercial? So that, because some of us are serious. If I don't own, I lease. And that is over 100 hectares that we have that we want assistance. Thank you.
Sanibonani nonke. Awu. Bayangihleka la phambili. I'd like to thank this opportunity. Madam Chair, I have registered on the attendance register. So I think it was a slip.
As who from?
As Amakoskas Esvande,
From?
Patricia Kupega Mufulo. Sorry, Dobsonville, Ward 47.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I did call Dobsonville. I can't remember the name. Yeah, okay. Proceed, Mama.
Okay. Okokuqala nje, I'd like to thank God for availing this opportunity. The departmental heads are laughing at me because I think they know ukuthi ena, I once pleaded for ilokuza for facilitation. I said because the society is hungry. The society abanalo ulwazi lokuthi ena bachala kanjani. I'm Patricia Kupega, sorry about that. So I pleaded for that. I'm still pleading for it. Number two, I'm representing two organizations. The first one is Amakoskas Esivande, which is based in Dobsonville. We are a primary cooperative. Thanks because Sesatola Uguti we've been funded, but nothing so far concerning or regarding the input production. Lapayana, the seed, from everything, esiyenzile, sizamele thina. So I'm still pleading with the department ukuthi ena sicela nisincede. Currently, we are having a problem. Siyatshala laphayana kusesikolweni ne. Njoba sitshala sithola bakhile our iy'tshalo zethu anyanisi angithi thina siyazi ukuthi funeka bayenze kanjani nama carrots sithola ukuthi ena bakhile. Okwamanje we need to buy ama-seeds ethu because we are still waiting for the government to improvise us with that. Siyabonga legislature, I'll keep on saying that. I know that magui legislature nina niyasikhulumela and then you are enforcing to the government which bayenze izinto zibe possible. I thank you.
Dumelang bagaetsho. Na ke na le mang moilwa wa Itsose waste recycling mo Kagiso. Ke startile ka 2002. Ke le 60 years old when everybody thought I should be preparing for my funeral rather than starting a business. Ke ema fa ba gaetsho, ga e ka be e se GDAT, I would have closed down by 2008. So, business ya Itsose is still existing thanks to GDAT. Bampile michini e beilang, e pelletizing and so on. But then, cut 2020, they threw me under the bus, GDAT. And I don't think it was deliberate by throwing me under the bus. How so? Ka 2020, barile ke ba fe mabitso, are all my customers ba ba tlisang waste to me to be recycled. Gore ba ba thuse by either food parcels or in monetary terms, ba ba donatele tšhelete ba tla ithekela se ba batlang go se reka. And this is the reason bana ba batla le di banking details tsa my clients. I did that. I think about 40. I sent them to GDAT. Not a single person was granted either food parcels or money to buy their own food. Now, you know, maybe they did not realize how serious this is. Because Hakibutsa GDAT, they said, sorry Muilwa, we have run out of funds. But you see, when you work with township people, my people, and you are close to the government, as I was held by the government to start a buyback center, I am corrupt. GDAT did give me their money and their food parcels, but because this old man is corrupt, we jail, urekile BMW or whatever. And last year, 2020, I had to close the place down because people were threatening me because I had devoured their money and their groceries. I contacted DJAT again and tell them, listen, my life is in danger. And said, well, what can we do? We've run out of funds. Just like that. So this is feedback and also feedback on what is threatening my recycling business. The very business that GDAT people helped me to succeed at. You know, I succeeded to the extent that Itsose Recycling won several awards. To best performing recycling in Gauteng. I was even presented with 3 tuk-tuks on the basis of the performance. Because I was working. I've been working there for over 20 years. And I refused to prepare for my funeral. Because I believe that age is just a number and I'm still productive. MSC, sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional. I'm also proud to be among great people, farmers. Progressive countries, the first thing they do is they take care of the people who feed them. I heard an old lady saying here, we depend on food from the Chinese. We don't even know what went into the food we eat. When we can plant our own food from our own fertile soil in a beautiful climate like South Africa's. I don't want to preach, but I had to say this. Now, Itsose is threatened by people saying, we want our food parcels, we want our grants, and I cannot provide that. GDAT must correct or pick me up from the bus they throw me under. The second thing that is threatening that place is the flood line. The flood line, the natural flood line upstream to Itsose Recycling was blocked by the municipality of Magale City. They dumped hundreds of tons of building contract in a flood line. So Itsose is constantly it's waterlogged. Before, I used to have problem with water 1 month or 2 months in a year. 10 months it was dry. Now it is wet, 13 months in a year. crazy. I've got 13 months in my year. It is wet because the flood water is blocked. Water does not flow away. And this was done by the municipality, not nobody. How do I dump hundreds of tons of rubble, concrete rubble? They did it when they were building Kagiso Mall. I inquired, I went to the municipality, I personally spoke to the mayor and made him aware of it in case he was not aware. But the honorable mayor, who listens to a rubbish collector? It's still blocked until to this day. Second thing that is threatening this recycling business, it is load shedding. We all suffer load shedding. It is beyond my control or even GDAT's control. But, my humble suggestion is that if we are threatened by load shedding, at least let security be tightened so that, people should stop threatening and vandalizing and stealing from our places because there's no electricity, there's no lighting, the alarms are off and everything. I've reported about 3 times to Kagiso police station about being robbed and being young boys coming to nationalize my stock. I've got the case numbers. And the police say, well, Munna, how do you go into business and you don't have insurance? Sorry, we cannot help you. And this is the kind of response we are getting from the police, the people who are supposed to make the environment conducive for us to run business and create jobs. Because we create jobs, business people, we take the risk and we create jobs. Last and not least, the private sector, because of my success, because of the business training they gave me. Initially, I was sponsored by SA Breweries and plastic recycling and several companies because I worked in the private sector. They sponsored me. They came back, they said, we can help you with what is threatening you now, Mwilo. But we cannot invest on land that you don't own. That's how the private sector works. What they are saying is, we don't trust the municipality, we don't trust to invest in land that is not privately owned. Because tomorrow they can kick you out and put in their people. So my needs are not a load on our government, on GDAT. The private sector can help, but they have their conditions. And their condition is, you must show us that you are viable, financially viable. And you have shown over 2 decades. So, ma'am, please address the 40 customers that we promise that will help them. Even if I catch the lotto, I cannot do it that myself because they will say, yeah, he's feeling guilty. Now he's giving us the food parcels because he knew he had stolen our money. How do I prove that I did not get that? So you helped me, thank you very much. And then you threw me under the bus. Thank you again.
Sanibonani. Ngibingelela uchairperson kanye nabo bonke abasitafuleni. Ngiyabingelela. Mina igama lami nguThandi ngokwaNdlovu, ngiphuma eVlakfontein. Kwi-NPO iZanethemba CPR. So ngiyaqala ukuza la. Ngumuntu nje nami ngiyabonga ukuthi ayicha usizo likhona bengarejistanga ngizizele. Ngoba bengizwile ukuthi kuyaregister.
Okay, ithi correct mama ne?
Yebo.
Lana meeting wa namhlanje. We appreciate that you are here and we welcome you and I hope utlo ba teng even in future meetings ne?
Okay.
Meeting wa today give feedback ya dilo tse eleng hore di etsahetse or a di etsahala between the farmers le department. As a meeting wa utlo raise the issues tse mpya. You will get that opportunity when that meeting is scheduled where we call the stakeholders to engage the department. Today, give feedback.
Okay.
Department ho etsahetseng ka borehole ho etsahetseng ka se ba se promisitseng di farmers. So ke khopela hore go tsele monyetla wa o bua today o tla o thola next time when we schedule a meeting specific for that, for
Okay.
new issues. Neba?
Okay,
Ka kopo hle,
ngiyabonga, hayi ngiyabonga ngoba
Yeah.
bese ngihlela lapha ngithi thina sizoyithola nini into esizoyisho lapha because manje ngathi asibaleki thina esifika khona manje yabona.
You can raise it after the meeting, ungakhuluma nomunye uye kuntate madoda, umtshele ukuthi wena inkinga yakho yini.
Okay.
Yeah, Madolo, sorry, ntate Madolo.
Ngiyabonga.
Sorry, thank you.
Chair, can I say something? Can I say something? No, can I say something? Can I, sorry about that. Chair, I apologize to interject. We have other cooperatives as well who are here for the first time. So we are requesting that those that are here for the first time can make written submissions and then we will give it to the department.
Yeah. Ba thomang ho tla mo, who are here for the first time ever, like me wa fetsang ho tloha on the platform. Department e kopa re letse di written submissions le ngole ne le ba ngolle le ba fe so that ba khono itse hore mathata lona a robetse mo kae. Can you do that after this meeting, or you can write it as you sit there and then you submit it, Mama Kiole with the red jacket on the table ya mo pele akere, and then you can hand them over to her. Ne ra utlwana baholo. Thank you. Papa, you can continue.
Ke a leboga modulasetulo a ke dumediše setulo sa gago mme Makekana ga mmogo le ba ba go potileng. Let me also greet members of our administration, farming administration, namely the department, GDAT, and all those who are here present. Did I tell you who I am? My name is Mamabolo Rapesu. I represent the Farmers Union. I represent the Farmers Union. In every meeting where you are, I will be there. There's no way you can avoid me, especially my colleagues in the GDAT. You will always see me there because I want us to make a way forward towards helping black farmers in this country. More money has been released by the department, there's no doubt, but we need even more than that. The problem we are having here has to do with how people see black farmers and what they can contribute. There is an attitude, but all what I want to suggest today, with the portfolio committee being here, I think between you, the department, and ourselves as representative of farmers, we need to sit down so that you can have a way of monitoring the processes that farmers, that will inform you whether we are making headway in farming or not. The resources that otherwise just to dish out resources and only need a report without monitoring the development. I know to do that work makes many of us uncomfortable. It's hard work. We need to be there when we have to get these things sorted out. And this has not been done, and it has not been done even anywhere. But we can, as Gauteng, we can be the best farmers if we come together and plan the way. Right now, most of us get shocked when budgets are returned. We are asking whether people know farmers, they know the needs of farmers, or whether people are still willing to work with the farming community and develop the black farmers. And I think with you, I wonder whether you'll still be here next year. If you could still be here, I think we need to come together, even if you can leave that, bequeath it to those who will come after you, so that together we can take farmers forward, the farming community forward. Today I don't want to point any finger at anyone. I just say, take us serious as farmers and as one of you, and so that we can move forward. That's what I'm requesting.
Ra leboha, Papa. Great advice. Re tla tsaya maele ho wena. Wa bofelo, Mama.
Sanibonani, igama lami nguBonisiwe ngwakamdingi. I'm from the company called Disability Pride. It's my company. Kule company ngenza poultry and piggery. I'm here just to say thank you to Mr. Madolo. Last few months, he just came through. He called a meeting for the people with disabilities in farming. So I was one of those people. So he helped me, he bought me feed. And even yesterday I called him, I'm surprised to see you here. I called him telling him that I still need something. So I just want to say, guys, please look after us. We are here, we are people with disabilities, we are in farming. Sicela uncedo nathi. At the moment I'm renting a plot because I love farming. I've been farming in my backyard, so I need help. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. Ra leboha haholo di farmers. Ka feedback ya lona e kwagetse, especially Ntate Mole ga ena khalimela a re fa advice le rena as portfolio committee, and to assure that all these things government ya kere ya continue, the reports are there, they are made. That's why go na le the recording part, so that the records are there. So even if we are not here next year, the portfolio committee who will be here will continue with the work. They will have reports and they will pursue your issues. So let's get to how the issues they will be persuaded. So the inputs all of you, they are very important. The portfolio committee is listening. So before I request the department to respond, I'm going to take hands from the table so that members can also make their inputs, and then the department can then respond to all the issues that you have raised, issues that you still have questions on. Honorable members, can I just get an indication if Member Mpapa, I've noticed you, Member Miller, and Member McKenney. Oh, Member Engelbrecht, you'll be the last one.
No, I think from my side, not much. We really appreciate the issues that have been raised, but our interest, also as a portfolio committee, our interest is to listen to the department. How did you resolve these issues? That's our oversight. And we are interested, want to know, and we are going to listen very carefully that each and everyone who raised the issues that they raised before, they are really addressed. And if not yet addressed, what are the promises? And then we'll really watch with that guarded optimism. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Kanyani. Member Miller.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I would just like to go back to a few people have raised today the issue of communicating with the municipalities. There seems to be a huge stumbling block with the municipalities, either in terms of zoning or permits or land or so on. If there's something that from the department side that they can do to assist in liaising with the municipalities and the farmers. It seems the municipalities are not really listening to the farmers themselves. Maybe if there was some kind of link or liaise from the department, it would be a little bit easier. The other thing of concern is a number of people also said that they have phoned, they've emailed, they've gone to the office, but they get no response. That is of concern. I think somebody did mention even if you just respond saying no, but when there is no response at all, is that because they are speaking to the incorrect person, they've got the wrong details or so on? But I think it's very important when people are trying to get hold of the department that they at least get an answer, even if it's a negative answer, there is some communication back. And then the last thing, and I'll obviously hear feedback from the department, but very concerning that they asked for banking details of suppliers. The gentleman who spoke about the waste recycling in Kagiso. The fact that the department asked him for who his suppliers are and for their banking details and so on is very concerning. That didn't sound right to me. If we can just get some clarification on that issue, please. Thank you.
Member McKenna?
Thank you, Chair. Member Kanyani partly covered me, but I will still touch on some issues here. The land issue. Bagaetsho lefatshe ke la rona. I don't understand gore re sokola yang ka lefatshe and we still have to lease. Mo batho ba re dutseng le bone mo bana le lefatshe re sa itse le go ba leng ka ko kae, then we must lease from them. That is where rona, our first cardinal pillar is expropriation of land without compensation. Umhlabo wethu. Now, I want to ask the department how best can we assist our farmers ko tabeng ya lefatshe and speed up the process. And then we've got farmers that ba kgonne ho ikemela right now through the assistance of the department. They've carried them through from when they started their farming. Now, o thola hore a farmer wa ikemela or can now even supply big stores like your Woolworths, your Pick and Pay and your Checkers through the assistance of the department. Now, why do we still have other farmers, upcoming farmers that are struggling to get assistance? But as a department, maybe we are concentrating on those people that bakgona ho ikemela now. I'm not saying they don't really need us, but we've got people ba ba thomang ko fatshe, ba ba tlhokang our assistance very much. And still on that, we've got farmers ba ba reng the department will still go to someone onang le motlakase, onang le metsi and prioritize those people. Bone, they've applied for, from maybe 2008 or when, to date there's still no assistance. But we do have those that are ikemetseng, we still run and assist them. Thank you.
Member Engelbrecht?
Chair, thanks very much. I'm concerned that many promises have been made to many of you, and many of you have not received those promises. So the concern is that if a promise has been made in 2014 or made in 2017 or 2018, and we're now in 2022, and you have not received what has been formally approved by the department is a huge concern. However, I also need to address something else, and I think it's an important issue that farmers need to understand, is that the department has a limited budget. It only has, let's say, 100 Rand. So when a farmer has been supported, the idea is not to keep on supporting that same farmer or that same cooperative forever. The department cannot do that. The idea is for the department to give you a helping hand or a leg up. We talk about a leg up to help you get started as far as possible. But they do need to support their promises. But they need to give you a hand to get you started in the market and to help you. But they cannot, for the rest and forever, keep on providing support to all of you because they cannot. The idea is to help somebody or cooperative for a year or 2 or 3 years and then exit. Then there needs to be an exit strategy and they have to help somebody else. But there is not enough money to give every farmer everything that they would like. I would also like everything. It doesn't work that way. And unfortunately, farming is hard. And we understand that, and I'm sure you all understand that. So it's difficult. You've got the weather that works against you. You've got the sun that works against you. You've got lack of water, lack of electricity. It's not easy. But we cannot expect the department to provide everything for every farmer. We cannot. It's just not viable. So we need to understand that there's a short term that the department is supposed to assist and then leave you. Then you mistake the profit that you have made with the support that the department has given you, and you must continue on your own. That's the sign of a good farmer. But you cannot. So there's this huge misconception. And I think maybe from the department side, there needs to be clearer communication in terms of what they can provide and when the provision stops. It has to stop at some point. But maybe that's where the miscommunication is. That right from the beginning, you get told, we will deliver X, X, and X, and then you are on your own. But to expect the department to pay for your maintenance, to keep on after you've been given abattoirs, and after you've been given nguni cows, and after you've been given boreholes, and after you've been given solar, and you've been given tuk-tuks, to still expect the department to continue giving, we need to understand that that is not possible. So thank you, Chair. I hope I was clear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was about to interrupt you there to say let the department respond because the questions are posed to them. So, but I will allow the department to then respond. I don't know who's going to be on the platform first. HOD is coming.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson and honorable members, and we truly appreciate the comments by our stakeholders. Chairperson, I'm going to try and respond, but I will ask my colleagues to also assist me where I would have omitted issues that would have been raised. I think I do want to say, Honorable Chairperson and honorable members, as a preamble, that I'm convinced that there is a very big misunderstanding, even from our farmers. And perhaps it talks to the fact that there needs to be a lot of awareness sessions by ourselves and by everybody else. We've said on several occasions, even in these forums, that GDAT has absolutely no land. Several farmers have asked for land from us, but we don't have land, and it's a point that we have made. The departments which do have land and which give out land to the farmers, and some of the farmers would have alluded to that, are rural development, or let's say DALRD, which is the Department of Agriculture, Rural Development and Land Reform. So they are the owners of land. Over and above DALRD, municipalities also have land. In terms of the province, the provincial government, the custodianship of land in general in the department lies with the department, in the province rather, lies with the Department of Infrastructure and Infrastructure Development. What we did as a department, and I'm repeating this, what we did as a department was to go to DID and we asked for land, which land would have then been given to our farmers. DID gave us 171 land parcels, after which there was an audit of those land parcels, and we found that all of those land parcels without fail were invaded, or some of them were part of our nature reserves. So the point is that we absolutely have no land. So anybody that says they want land from us, we are not going to be able to assist. So the issues of leases and title deeds are issues that we are unable to deal with. So that's the one point. The second point, Honorable Chairperson and honorable members, is that GDAT does not give money to any of the farmers. What we do is to buy inputs, equipment, we support them. But as for us, we do not give any farmer any money. We have recently had negotiations with, amongst others, the Land Bank and the National Empowerment Fund, so that together with them, we can then come up with those grants stroke loans. But that's something that's in the pipeline that we have not done yet. I think the third point is that we have in the department commercial farmers, and we have smallholder farmers, and we have subsistence farmers. In terms of our commercial farmers, we've got 70 of them, 50 from primary agriculture and 20 from agro-processing. There was a very detailed and comprehensive process to select the 70 farmers that I'm talking about. And Mayor Mukhoshi of Bronkhorstspruit is one of those farmers. It was a very comprehensive and very detailed process that we went through. So it was not only us as GDAT who nominated or who selected the commercial farmers. It was ourselves together with our national department was there, CSIR would have been there, ARC, and one or two other, Land Bank was also there, and one or two other tertiary institutions. And that was done so that there is objectivity in the appointment of those commercial farmers. What is actually called industrialists in other departments, we call them commercial farmers. Our farmers complain that there are farmers who sort of have preference or preferential treatment. Somebody was talking about the fact that we will give support to a farmer that has electricity as an example, or water as another example. But that is because those are your commercial farmers. We've signed SLAs with them. So we have, in those SLAs, indicated the kind of support we're going to give them. But what we would want to see is them becoming independent and being able to stand on their own. The point that Honorable Engelbrecht made is very valid. Our farmers, even our commercial farmers, want to be given support every time. Even those, in our view, that are able now to stand on their own, they want to come and ask for support all the time. In the last, I think it was in December, Honorable Chairperson, when we were in Bronkhorstspruit, Richard Getzi Maria, we did indicate, she spoke about the 3,000 even today. And we did indicate that we are not going to pay the 3,000 because the 3,000 was paid to workers in her farm. So she can't come and ask us to pay. And I did make it clear, we are not going to be paying that 3,000. And was saying, Mam Mukhoshi is one of those farmers that we've actually even given Yonguni cattle. So we gave her 30 plus 1 Nguni cattle, but today, as a result thereof, she's got 78 of those. So she's made 31 minus 78 Nguni cattle that she already has from the support. But we are not only giving her the support. So the point is that at some point, people should be able to stand on their own. And unfortunately, we are still not there with our farmers who seem to be wanting us to assist them all the time. And that actually closes off because there are smallholder farmers that we're supporting. There are also subsistence farmers. People who are saying, I've got, 3 hectares, from which I'm planting. And those are some of the people that we would also want to support within the department. But I think the point that we also made, Honorable Chairperson and Honorable Members, is the fact that our support is not automatic. So people must come to the department and apply in the department so that we are then able to assist them with whatever they want. And we did indicate that we also send specialists to go and assess, because in some instances a person will say, I want support for pigs. And when you go there to their farm, you find that the farm is so small that it will never be able to cater for pigs. So what people want and what is possible is sometimes or in fact not sometimes, oftentimes, just two different things altogether. So as a department, we then have to guide them in that regard. I agree with farmers who are saying, we've got a very serious problem in South Africa in general, and the problem is your load shedding. There's an energy crisis in the department. And what are we doing as a department? We had an energy summit on the 30th of May. A substantial number of farmers were in that energy summit, where we wanted to come together with the farmers and say, how do we together try to assist farmers in respect to the energy crisis? As we're speaking, Honorable Chairperson, we are busy. There are farmers that we're going to be buying diesel for, but it's not all farmers, because we don't have limitless resources. So some of the farmers, and we might start, I'm not sure how many we're going to start. We might start with 10 and go to another 10 and so on and so on. But it's not going to be possible that we assist all farmers. Honorable Chairperson and honorable members, it is true that when, as a department, we were unable to do infrastructure development, we then engaged DBSA as an implementing agent. The truth is that we have very serious challenges with DBSA. Farmers have indicated that some of them are saying their boreholes are not being completed, and so on and so on. Indeed, they are not wrong. We do have challenges. We have engaged with DBSA. The CFO met with DBSA, I think it was on Monday. And the meeting was really to say to DBSA, if you don't pick up your socks, we are going to terminate. We are not going to have any choice but to terminate. But we must also indicate that, for example, with Mam Mogoshi, I think the service provider was Tahoga. But I think we've changed Tahoga now to something else, for CUS. So where there are challenges, we are indeed changing some of those. Maria, Maria, ke chomiak, ke bua ka ena, askis, ke bua ka chomiak. Mama Maria. So, Mama Maria, I was saying, she has been complaining about the borehole, and we've changed Tatuha to 4 CUS. So, we are aware of those challenges, and they are challenges that also we don't like, because what then happens is that, when they don't finish their work, it impacts adversely on us, because we also don't spend, the money that we're supposed to be spending. So it's something that we're monitoring, and it's something that we're looking at. You did, Maria, indicate our engineer waited with yourself, and unfortunately, the service provider did not come. So we took that into consideration, and as I say, when CFO was there, those were issues that were raised, and this is why we are changing your service providers. I think we did indicate also, Honorable Chairperson and honorable members, that we are now embarking on what is called TISH elevated priorities. We have to support our townships, informal settlements, and hostels. So some of the farmers who are not necessarily, or let me rephrase. So we are reprioritizing, just really to ensure that we massify also in your townships, in your informal settlements and hostels. And I think if you look at Ntate from Klipspruit of Ubuntu Community Development, he's just really started with his vegetable garden. But already there's very big progress. He started, or they've started to sell some of the produce, and those are people that we really want to work with, that we want to support, and we will be supporting them in a very big way, including umama amakhosikazi esivande. So there's another person, chairperson, honorable chairperson, who complained about late inputs in terms of the production inputs that we give. And indeed, they were right. We did have a challenge last year in particular. It's something that we're looking at. We have started procuring. So we've procured in bulk. We've procured your inputs, we've procured equipment, etc., etc. And we are indeed going to be assisting the farmers. As the farmer was saying, by July, we are very confident that we will be able to deal with those issues. I wanted to say, Honorable Chairperson, I think the unfortunate part is the fact that oftentimes we give our farmers inputs, like your fertilizers, your seeds, your seedlings, in bulk. What we've also discovered, and I think Mamboni Swamdini will be, if she's brave enough, she'll attest to this. So we give farmers inputs, and what they do is that they sell those inputs instead of using them. They sell them. And as I say, yes, you can confirm, and it Siswam, yes. So that's what happens. And as a result, sometimes things in bulk because we know that they will sell the things that we give them. I want to try and deal with individual issues. So, bahomotse se bahotsi mem mamogoshi ke right jwalong a kere ehe. So mem mamogoshi will remember hore when my MEC was me Mamurakani, we came to your farm with a very big truck. You remember that? It was a big truck of fertilizers, big truck. Sorry, not fertilizer, feed, poultry feed, very big truck. So when we were engaging with her, one of the things she said was that, because la sokola kataba ya di, like a honorable member indicated, sometimes municipalities are a very big challenge. So issues of zoning and, establishment of townships or something, those issues are very difficult issues because they belong to the municipalities. And because La Sokola, because Winterfeld is considered as something, not agricultural land, as something, so they needed to zone and what have you, because La Sokola, ke kopa le nrekele building material. I get me. And indeed we bought. Regular some things. We did buy. The only thing is that at the time there was a problem, still in the township, not in the township, in the country. So we were not able to get steel at the time that we required to get steel. And so that was a bit of a problem. It was a problem even for us with the Auditor General. But I think the big point I'm making is that if you look at what Mema Mokoshi says they are producing, it's 100,000 eggs per day. Am I right? 100,000 per day. So, Honorable Chairperson, the point I'm making is if you were to count per day, 100,000 per day, and urekisa leileo even at R1, you are able to make, at 80%, you are able to make about 4.3 million. Should the department really be assisting still? Because we want people to be able to stand on their own. So that's, that's the point I'm trying to make. But I've made my point. Women in water, we did indicate Ntate Justice, even in the last meeting, that we do want to work with them. Because remember, they work with the youth. Mama was saying, there's a youth, babang, they'll end up in Nyaupe and so on and so on. And we did indicate, Ntate Justice Lehoroko guy. Okay, I can mourn. Go, Ntate Koba, me, please. We did indicate even in the last meeting that we want to work. Ntate Justice, me wako social move. Ke kopa le nke di details tsa hae because even in the last meeting we did indicate. Oh, Mami Lord, women in water. I also wanted to say, whatever the farmers are complaining about water rights and water use licenses, those are water and sanitation issues. What we are prepared to do as a department is recalling Kenya's deep boreholes, those that have applied. So that process is unfolding. But yeah. And then, Jobs Fund as a role, Jobs Fund as a role. And then, yeah, the owing of 4.5 with municipalities, something that we can't really get involved in. Medora Matebe, I think it's one of, issues which really also pains me, Honorable Chairperson, and I think we've been speaking about it. We did go to her farm, to go Agri Park, if Honorable Chairperson remembers. And the point is the city of Tshwane, and we have tried to negotiate to have negotiations with the city of Tshwane for them to give her the lease, and I'm not sure what's happening there, but we will take up the issue. So, Ntate Tidiso, if we can please, Rishebe Me Dora, and I think let's very quickly do that. Me wako step ahead, Honorable Chairperson, even in the last meeting, we did say, me wako Ekenov, really feel we did say, but we really feel le mobile abattoir. Kirabako Ekenov, Agri Park, reba file mobile abattoir. Okay, met the road. I get some horiki among the plaque abu and kayo.
City of Joburg.
Yes, OJ. So, Honorable Chairperson, I'm not going to answer the Lotama Ponisa Agodidier. So, I think the point we made, even in the last meeting, is that the tractor, we don't give individual farmers the tractor. And a kukule, one military veteran who was saying, they use one tractor for a distance of about 25 kilometers. I think we can look at that. because I think that's really a long distance. But we don't give individual tractors. What we do, Honorable Chairperson, is that we aggregate farmers. And Mara, it must be 10-kilometer radius. And then we then give them farmer tractors, but not one, but like I say, one military veteran, it's something that we will look at. And then Ubuntu community development, the borehole, we did indicate, it's something that we will look at with other colleagues. Meki Diboni borehole ritla sheba, and I'm hoping Meki Diboni you've also applied for the borehole. Fencing is a bit tricky. Yeah, fencing is a bit tricky. So I don't want to stand here and say, Ritla Sheba, I don't want to commit about fencing, but borehole yona is something that we will look at. Ntate Musa Tanzi, training, I think even in the last meeting, we did say that we will help with training. Honorable Chairperson, we did say, Orange Farm. Orange Farm, we did say, ke gona le mathata ko Orange Farm, ba lwana bona amongst themselves. But Taten Tanzi in the last meeting did acknowledge what I said. They themselves have internal squabbles, and this is why it becomes difficult for us. However, we will look at assisting them with training. Viwe, ke ngwana rona wa EARD. You asked us to look at equipment which is standing still, and I think it's also about load shedding, about the fact that you don't have energy. So please get in touch with Mr. Matolo on that one. And then we did, yeah, I'm not going to repeat the boreholes because we did say that we will look at boreholes. What provincial, nna ke tseba re bereka together, so ke a makala ha o tlo mpaisa mo. Because I thought Ridi told me. But I did say that with land, we're not going to be able to assist, but yes, with seedlings, as we have been doing, ward and EARD, we really have been assisting yourselves. Simpiwe Mnisi, where are you? Okay. So I think let's have a discussion. The information we got is that your borehole is complete, except for final, I think there's final completion and there's something completion, practical and final. So it's at one of the stages, practical completion. But I think let's engage so that we know what's happening. And then fence. Okay. I think let's engage so that we understand what the issue is. And then, Mambusi, unfortunately, the farm you have is a farm that you got from land reform. There's nothing we can do about the fact that they've given you the farm they have. Well, let me not say there's nothing we can do. What we can do is to get you in touch with Rachel Masango, who's a representative of land reform in Gauteng. And maybe you can then speak to her. But yeah, you did indicate that you are getting inputs from ourselves. It worries us that your farm is not a good one, because it might mean that those inputs are also going for waste. Makgomo agricultural, I think we've responded to your issue. Ntate Apane, sorry, Me Apane, what the blueberries? Haru guy. Okay. Me Apane ke kopa hore bone so that we get you in touch with Harry. I so utlwi ba re file batho di blueberries, but I'm sure there's always the first time. And then with the non-equipment of your borehole, it's something that I think Mr. Matolo will also look at. And then, Ekuruleni chairperson wa ward, training, ke kopa o bonane le ntate Legoro. Ntate Legoro, ke kopa, so ntate Legoro will assist. In fact, your training for recycling is not, nobody is represented here for recycling, but Ntate Legoro will take your details so that we get you in touch with the relevant person. Ntate Maiba, una complainela lona honorable chairperson ara le mo invite. But yeah, we did indicate that we will look at a tractor for you. Amakoska's Vande, training is something that we can facilitate for you. I am very interested in what you said about the fact that you were told that you were funded for production inputs, but you never got them. So I think if you and I can speak about this so that I follow up. So I'd like to really explain Ntate Moiloa's issue, Honorable Chairperson, because I think it's very important. So in 2020, honorable members will remember that this was during the thick of COVID-19. So what happened then was that the department, our national department, the Department of Forestries, Fisheries and Environment, decided that they wanted to give vouchers to Abomachereza, the recyclers, because it was very difficult for everybody at the time. So we were then asked on behalf of DFFE to get the details. So it was not going to be us that was going to be giving them support, but it was going to be DFFE through ourselves. So even the issue of the banking details, because we don't ask we never ask for anybody's banking details, because as I said, we don't give financial support. So that would have been what DFFE wanted to assist them, to assist your waste pickers during that very difficult time. And unfortunately, it did not work. But just to say to Ntate Moilwa, we would want to work with yourself again, because I think recycling is an area which we really need to go into. We are doing a lot of cleaning in the townships, informal settlement and hostels. So that waste must then not go to waste, but we would be able to recycle. So we would want to work with yourselves. We agree with Dr. Rapetsu, everything that he said. We agree, and we know that he's one of the farmers who really support us. So I think I've dealt with most of the issues. If, Ntate Matolo, if there's anything that I've left, can I please ask you to come? Mehari, usantse no eme jwalo. Me wa di blueberries, ki yo le mehari, ki kopa o bonane le ene. Thank you. Thank you.
No, not correct.
No. Can I allow you to have a one-on-one with HOD? Dr. Moloba will correct us something, but can I allow you to have a one-on-one with him? Thanks.
I think
No, don't worry about that. It will be sorted between you and the department.
Thank you very much, Chair and honorable members. Namafama onke akoyo up and bullies. I just want to touch on the issue of tier farming that was not mentioned, Chair, and the fact that that's actually aquaculture farming, it's fish farming. And what we've done, we've already procured the service provider to supply the fingerlings to them. So that process is underway, just to give feedback on that. And then in as far as all the fences that we're talking about, HOD touched on it. And the reality of the matter is that Tahuga, who was employed by our service provider or implementing agent, DBSA, has not performed accordingly. And DBSA therefore replaced them with 4CUS, which is another a company that they have brought on board, which has taken over all the work that is done by Tahoga because they didn't have capacity. So, Ms. Mnisi, we will follow up on your issue because that is basically the work that has been done. As we say, Pierre and Sons, the work is complete. The only thing that needs to be done is the final completion and handover of the fences. And all of those that are not yet done, as we are saying, we are actually, as HOD said, together with the CFO, following up on the work done by the DBSA on our behalf on a weekly basis because our chief engineer, because that's another thing that we've done in the department. We employed the services of the agricultural engineers so that they are able to assist us with the implementation of agricultural infrastructure. I think, yes, the issue of the construction of poultry houses, piggery houses as well, just to summarize on that one as well, that's also work which is implemented through the DBSA. PSPs have been appointed and they are also ready to make sure that that work is actually going to be rolled out. And as indicated, I think CFO can say it better than I do. We're not happy with the DBSA in terms of the progress of implementation, and this issue, HOD herself is going to be talking directly to the GM of DBSA in as far as this is concerned. There's a letter prepared already detailing all the issues per project that we're actually not happy about. I think HOD touched on all of the other issues. I don't think there's any other issue missing here. Yeah, thank you very much, Chairperson.
No, thank you very much, Department, for the responses. And I think we need to have a way forward in this regard. I think HOD did indicate to those specific farmers that needs further engagement with herself and follow up. I think they have heard. She has mentioned them, and I hope that that engagement will continue outside of this meeting. I'm going to suppress you to raise further questions because I've referred you to the HOD. So I want us to summarize and move forward because Rona, as the portfolio committee, I've told you before, we have raised the issue here of DBSA, our concern about the contractors who are doing business with the department from DBSA. There is no joy from some of those contractors. And I'm glad you touched on the issue here, the aquaculture, tier farming. It's a pity that they are not here. So we would have liked to hear from them as to the progress made since December when we last visited their farm. But you touched on that, but maybe if you could provide the portfolio committee with the report, the details as to what you have done so far. And then the other big issue here, I think the department needs to have an honest engagement with the farmers in the form of a summit, outside of us, Reseteng role as the portfolio committee, so that you are able to, as a department, lay the foundation and equip the farmers with knowledge as to what is it that the department can do and what is it that you cannot do in terms of the policies that governs the department. So that farmers are a bit confused. They cannot rely on hearsays, and then sometimes some of them demand things and they have not even applied for them. They probably don't know who they have to apply. They don't even know the process and the procedure for applying for whatever they require for their farmers. So I think you need to have an honest conversation, so that they can know what their responsibilities are, and Luluna, you can tell them how far you can go with it. So that there mustn't be unexpected expectations from our farmers, so that the relationship going forward must be good. And I'll give you an example. It happened even in social development, where the NPOs, as an extension of government, to a certain extent, they don't see themselves as an extension of government. They expect, because they have been funded, everything must be done for them. And I think the summit between the NGOs, the NPOs, and the department assists, because then the department is able to tell them, as NGOs, you also have a responsibility because you get funded. And if we want your financials, we must get the financials. We must know how you perform as an NGO. We must know, you must account, because this is government money. We can't just keep on giving money and we don't know what happens to the money. We don't have trees growing money, you understand? So I think that honest engagement is really necessary, so that you take all the farmers on board. Because remember, there are new entrants in the field of agriculture and farming. So some of them rely on hearsay, word of mouth goes very quickly. And if I see my neighboring farmer anale fancy or whatever else, I also want that, but I don't know how she got it, whether she qualifies, or you understand, or what play was it approved, on what basis. So I think you guys need that basic information, so that you understand you don't make unnecessary or unrealistic demands. And a little department, they should not make unrealistic promises to you. They must lay it out, tell you, Rena, as department, this is what our expectations are. This is how far we can help you. We can help you with these production inputs. We cannot help you with this and all that. Clear from the beginning, so that we can work smoothly. We avoid this pointing fingers of blaming the department and the department blaming you, blaming DBSA and all that. Otherwise, we are not going to have progress if we continue in that manner. So I think from my side, from the portfolio committee, that's our recommendation, a firm recommendation for that summit with an honest engagement, by the responsibilities of and lay out to the foundation. So thank you very much. We will proceed then with the program of the day. And I did say that those of you who've got new issues, submit them on the table there in front, written submissions, so that you can start that engagement with the department outside of this meeting. And then we will then proceed to, sorry, I lost my notes here. Yeah, so we proceed, ladies and gentlemen, honorable members. I think the feedback session assists us, and I hope that the department will carry forward this, the outcome of this meeting in the form of the summit, so that everybody is clear. We will just get the feedback from the summit as to what discussions you went into and what presentations you made to the farmers. Item number 7 on the agenda is about resolution tracking. I'm going to hand over to Lebo to take us through item 7 until we will skip item 11 today, because this is not a normal meeting. We will move on to item 12. Other matters we will skip for today. So you can go through 7 up to the last item.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. As requested by members in our last meeting, that we at least create a template where we are able to track the resolutions of the committee. We have done so, and on all the resolutions that were open, meaning they have not responded to, we are keeping track and as well as sending letters to the department on those resolutions. We are left with the third quarterly performance report, and it was due on the 31st of May. So we received a letter from the MC's office, from our proceedings unit, and they've sent it to the PLO. The letter was addressed to the MEC. So, Chair, those are the only outstanding resolutions for now. I have shared. I will share with members the template. Then we'll keep it ongoing every time as requested by members. Then we will be briefing you.
Continue to item 8 on the provincial bills.
Chair, we do not have anything under provincial bills. We, however, have on the NCOP bills. I see I've skipped it here.
You can speak to that.
Okay. Chair, on the NCOP bills, you would remember that there's 2 bills that were referred to the committee, and we only dealt with the National Field and Forest Yes. Chair, we've drafted a plan for the consideration of the bill. However, the issue is that we are requested to provide a negotiating mandate on the 1st of August. We are only left with 3 weeks to do public hearings. The only issue is that we can only identify the first week of July or 2nd. And those are the days where members will be on recess. So the request is for members maybe to indicate if they will be able to attend public hearings during their recess. That, Chair, I'll leave it to you and honorable members.
Is there a proposed date so that if we know of a proposed date, the members can make a decision and agree on that date, knowing that they will be on recess?
Chair, the proposed date is the 7th of July. It's a Friday. And we will only have 1 public hearing. Yeah, on the 7th of July.
And have you identified the area?
No, Chair. We are going to be guided by the legal advisor on the area which we can focus on. And we have received feedback from, from Jocelyn, indicating that some of the submissions that they received were from, I think, Tshwane. So I think from our side, we'll also, consider Tshwane.
Okay, thank you very much. Honorable members, I just want to pose a question to you on the suggestion or the proposal made, noting that there's no time really to consider this bill, but the proposed date is the 7th of July. We will be on recess, but if we can get a affirmation from yourselves that you will be available that day, just for that one stakeholder engagement, they will advise us on which area we're going to go. If it's Tshwane, it's okay, wherever. I'm sure if we are available, we'll be able to make ourselves available. So I'm getting a nod from the honorable members that we give you a go-ahead to plan for that stakeholder meetings. We'll sacrifice our time and we will be there to conduct the stakeholder engagement. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Still on the NCOP bills, we have received the date for the consideration of the agricultural products bill. You would remember that we were supposed to deal with both the briefings, but they cancelled out because they had not briefed the select committee. They are proposing we have it on the 13th of June, noting that we will have other engagement. You would remember on the program that on the 13th, the first part of that day, there is no agenda. So the proposal is that we can have the visual meeting on the 13th and then attend the conference later on. So if members agree.
Yeah, I don't think it will be a problem. We will be together anyway. We can connect virtually, and on the 13th, we don't have anything from morning until 5 o'clock.
That's
So
correct.
it's fine.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. Under petitions, Chair, we are still following up with our other colleagues if there have been any petitions that have been referred to us. And so far, we haven't received anything. And under correspondence, we also do not have, nothing. I will hand over to you on other matters arising.
No, I said we will skip that.
Oh, we will skip that. Then the date of our next meeting, Chair, will then be the public hearing on the 7th of July.
Okay, and the one on the 13th, the virtual meeting with
Yes,
the Senate
oh, I
committee.
apologize, Chair, the 13th of.
Yes.
Yeah, 13th
Okay.
of June.
Okay, no, thank you very much, Lebu. I think we have come to the conclusion of our meeting, and let me take the opportunity to thank everyone here. Firstly, the honorable members who are here and the valuable inputs that they have made and the way forward that they came up with, and we will be looking forward to progress in terms of the way forward, especially that summit, so that we can hear how did you brief the farmers, because we don't want to be sitting here let's the same complaints from farmers. Some of these complaints, they really need to be sorted by the department in the form of explanation or acting towards those complaints. And I also want to thank the department for availing themselves and giving the responses and being committed to further engage with yourselves in assisting you to be the farmers that you want to be, but also to empower you with knowledge so that you don't just do things molififing, honorable farmers. Because I'm hearing some of the complaints date back from many years, and maybe the department are not able to tell you this is not possible, it can be done. And when you keep on having hope where you will get assistance, and it's not fair on you because you get stuck because we're not only the expectations. So it's high time that now they clarify, but clean the ground so that you understand one another as going forward. We don't want this taking each other back and forth between yourselves and the department. And also like to extend my sincere gratitude to you, farmers, because ke lona le re empowerang with what is happening on the ground. As the portfolio committee, we are not able to visit all of you. It is our wish, if time was on our side, we would visit each and every farm so that we can see the circumstances under which you work. But we will try our best as portfolio committee to touch on, most of you. But it's good that when we create such platforms, we get to know what is happening on the ground without us being there physically. And we are even able to resolve your issues remotely. Because the department then listens and then we inquire from them, what is it that you are doing about these issues? For instance, the tea farming, they are not here, but we want the report about tea farming. We want to know what is it that they did about that farming project, because it's a they've been identified for commercialization. So we want to know, in terms of their strategy on commercializing farmers, we want to know if that strategy is working indeed. So we thank you very much for being such reliable stakeholders, very loyal. We see the same faces every time, and it's good that you even invite new stakeholders so that we are a bigger church, so that this knowledge and this information can be shared amongst all the farmers, so that all the farmers, and somebody mentioned black farmers, so that all the black farmers can be equipped with knowledge. And the department is not segregating, by the way. Farmers are farmers. It's not like they're looking at one specific social cluster. They're looking across the board. Yeah, so we mustn't be misled around that. I also want to thank the support staff that's supporting the committee for the great work that they are doing, and appreciate the fact that we will be able to do our resolution tracking properly, Lebo and Mongani, in terms of the template that we are going to follow from now on. Also thank the people in the booths for the interpretation the interpretation service that they are providing for us. It is valuable. Otherwise, some of you may miss some of the important issues if there's no interpretation. So all in all, I thank each and every one of you, even if I did not single out individuals, but you are all appreciated, and we thank you all for being here. And this meeting is concluded, and I'm told you are being invited for lunch at Billy G restaurant. I think it's, when you leave the hall, it's somewhere on your left-hand side. So lunch will be served there, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend and a prosperous farming with the help of the department. Okay, so thank you very much, and see you again when we meet.